Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be doing a how to build of Albedo, who has just dropped today on Global as I'm making this video. So tomorrow you will see Irons and Schulte's how to build. I didn't want to do them today because I don't have their relics and I can't get their relics today, but I can get them tomorrow, so you'll see them tomorrow. Kokutas, no idea when, still trying to SA him, so after I've SA6'd him, I'll make a video. I will do a how to build on him, but currently there'll be no video on him. But on to Albedo, who is the strongest of all the collaboration characters we've probably had in the game. Not only does she have a nuke of an ultimate, she also has the ability to vaporize anyone with her counter, which is kind of busted. Also, her substats are absurd. This is 238% crit damage without crit damage gear, which puts her on par with like Freya and Demon King sort of style base. Her crit chance is actually very good for the amount of crit chance she gets from her passive. Her pierce rates are insane, her resistance is insane. Lifesteal is actually very good. Recovery rate's good. Crit defense, I want to say it's actually one of the highest. I want to say it's the highest in the game base. Crit resistance isn't that high, but she doesn't really need crit resistance when she has 80% damage reduction. It's kind of absurd how much damage reduction she gets, but she gets 80%. Her cards, which this is a very unique one, no one else has had this card before, which is a single target, does X amount of damage and then lowers the enemy's damage dealt by 30%. And because it is damage dealt, what this means is that Mael and characters that can't be stat lowered can have their attack lowered, can still have their damage dealt lowered. That means goddesses are not just going to magically appear back in meta. Which means goddesses are now being kicked even further down the meta than what they currently were. Of course, the damage and so the multiplier for the debuff and the card itself increases per skill, being 50% at level 2 and 270% damage, which is good. 480% damage low for 2 turns. That's insane. And you have a counter, which is the first of its kind. It's a counter, plus it's got an effect as well, Amplify. With the amount of buffs she gets herself and the amount of buffs that the unknown team has, she's going to be hitting absurd amounts of damage. I'm talking like she can probably one-shot people. If you see my boss video already where I do the event boss, she ends up just two-turning it with a level 1 counter because that's just what she likes to do. And at level 1 it's only 1 turn with 150%, at level 2 it's 2 turns with 250%, at level 3 it's 2 turns with 450%. That's insane. Also, you have to bear in mind that her counter can bypass damage cap, because it's a counter, and counters can bypass damage cap. Which means she might be pretty busted in PvE when it comes to enemies that have extremely low damage caps. And then you've got her ult itself, which is like Queen Diane's ult on steroids. Increases the hero's crit chance by 50% and crit damage by 80% for 2 turns. Then inflicts quell damage, which is Queen Diane's effect, as you can see here. It's 6/6, it's 50%, which means you're dead. Because 50% damage increase from a 500% skill, plus getting an extra 130% crit damage, which puts her at, 360% crit damage, plus her passive, plus all of this. You're talking about, like, close to 400% crit damage, and a lot of crit chance, you're probably dead. Even if she doesn't crit you, she's still going to vaporize you because it's Quell. Quell is a very strong effect at 6/6 because it's 50% per stance. She only does gain 2 stances though, so it is only 100% and not the 150% Queen Diane gets or Green Sariel gets. It is only 100%, but it's still quite a lot. And the difference at 1/6 is 5%. I currently have a 3/6, which is 15%. Then a 4/6 is 20%. 5/6 is 35%. And then, of course, 6/6 is 50%, which is a lot. Onto her passive. So, passive, she is the first character in the game to have 2 whole paragraphs for her passive, which I think is kind of insane. One of them goes over her stance and how she gains attack-related stats. The other one goes over, in general, just how she gains stats. So, basic stat boosts, as well as what happens when she loses her stance. So, let's go on to her passive now, which is applied absolute defense on the hero at the start of the battle for 1 turn. When assuming a stance, the hero's basic stats are increased by 20%. When hit with a skill during the enemy's turn, the hero's attack-related stats increase by 10% up to 5 times. 50% attack-related stats. If the hero does not take damage, all enemies damage taken increased by 40% for 1 turn. At the start of the ally's turn, which is like a lot. 40% increased damage taken is a lot, especially if you put that with like DPSs, like you put that with tier, you're dead. There's no way you're surviving that. In addition, when the hero's stance effect is removed, the attack-related stats of all unknown race allies increase by 20% for 2 turns. The hero's basic stats increase by 7% for every unknown ally race on the battle in your thing. And guess what? It's not PvP only. It works everywhere. That means it works in Demonic Beast, which is absurd. The fact that she works in Demonic Beast, she can bypass damage cap, she can send someone to the Shadow Realm if she feels like it, and she has absurd amounts of CC, 68,000 CC. And with the leak I saw, when they add the relic upgrading, she'll be the 5th highest CC character in the game. Of course, that is at 6/6 with all outfits. I do have all outfits. She doesn't have perfect HP defense gear, and she's not 6/6, and I probably won't get her any higher ult level than where she currently stands. But you thought that was broken, right? She has all of this increased defense, all this basic stats, all this like increase. Her relic decreased the damage taken by 8% for every buff on the hero. That's an extra 40% damage reduction, which is now, if you're wondering, that's equivalent to having a Deanne taunt up, which is quite a lot of damage reduction. Of course, we went through her ult, her gear. I have HP defense and attack rate down. So what this means is, like, if I want a DPS, it's like nearly 64,000 CC, 258,000 attack. 258% crit damage. But mainly, I want to stick with HP defense. I just made attack crit down just in case there is an event in the future, and I just want to run her attack crit down. Just makes it much easier. But overall, she is really busted. Like, my HP defense gear is like, it's good. It ain't the best, but it's very good. And she's got 68,000. I reckon I could push it to 69,000 CC. Maybe, yeah. I reckon I can push it to 69,000 CC. Her relic. So her relic gives her a lot of stats. I'll move her out of the way so we can actually see it. 400% attack, 350% defense, and 4,100 HP, which is a lot of CC. If you don't know, attack is a 1-to-1 ratio in terms of CC. I'm pretty sure defense is like a 1 CC for every 1.5 defense or every 2 defense, and HP is 3 CC for every 1 CC for every 3 HP. But overall, she's extremely strong. Like, beyond, like, she's busted. Like, they definitely knew what they were doing. All of these collaboration characters, Irons is a little bit gimmicky, right? And he does really need to be 6/6 for him to work very well because of his passive. But Albedo, on the other hand, she doesn't need to be 6/6. You know, her 6/6 makes her ult a nuke, right? I'll show you what I mean by it makes her ult a nuke. Of course, I won't be able to get like the insane passive stuff, but I'll give us a level 3 count and show you what I mean. Hey, also she patiences. She doesn't actually get the stat increase. By the way, that was 200k. Sorry, that was 300k with HP defense, and now we'll do the ult. Big damage. Her ult is so sick. 501k. That's without any attack-related stat buffs from her passive. Okay, now she has an attack-related stat buff, right? Let me stance up now, and then I'll show you. Because she lost her stance, I mean, she gained the attack-related stat buff. Look at the difference. Beforehand, you saw that before she ulted, she was doing 300k. Then she got the ult, and then the attack-related stat buff. She was doing 900k. Let's look at the ult now. I'll skip it now, actually. Let me skip, please. 664. Doesn't increase too much, but her counter is where she's at. Imagine giving her Red Tommy Link. She has like 80% damage reduction, Red Tommy Link. She's got a Nashi buff. She's got all of these things unknown. She's got insane basic stats. You know, especially if you get all her outfits as well. I have all her outfits all maxed out, of course. I actually really like this, the SSR outfit. But look, crit resistance, crit defense. You know, the extra crit chance, crit damage. She will be a monster, and especially when she comes to Hero Arena. So do you know what that means? We better prepare ourselves, because when she comes to Hero Arena, it's not going to be fun anymore. It's going to be very, very, very painful for us. But it should be fun. I'll have a showcase for her out tomorrow. I haven't recorded it yet, but I want to record and get out tomorrow with the two other how to builds I need to do, which is Schulte and Irons, and Computers, of course, will be later on. I'm not sure when, but it'll be at some point in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.